Welcome, everyone, to the AHA Method YouTube video. Look at us doing videos here.
Supplemental.
You can see me raise the roof now. Yes. All right. I am so excited about this because I have forced, maybe, Gabe to play Powerpoint Karaoke with me, which is a really good improv exercise. Here's how it works. We are going to do a presentation. It is 10 slides, and we have not seen the slides before. I can see the title slide right now. It's teed up on my second computer. I have not seen the other slides. And our goal, Gabe, let's set a time to try to fit it in within, I'd say, 6 minutes.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'll try to give you like a 5-minute signal that let's wrap it up, or we just end where 6 minutes, wherever we are.
Okay. That sounds good. Are you and I doing the same deck, or are we doing two different decks?
I was thinking we could alternate just to help each other out, be good scene partners. I don't want to leave you out there on your own, although I'm sure you'll.
Oh, so we're doing one slide. Like I'm going to do a slide, then you're going to do a slide, then I'm going to do like that.
Yes.
Oh, how fun. Okay, great. That's even better.
Yeah. And so since I have the PowerPoint up, just let me know, next slide, please. And that'll be my cue to move it along.
Okay.
All right. And just for our listeners, our audience, we are using PowerPoint Karaoke slides. So it isn't a website, it is a business. They have created these slide decks. There's 10 slides per deck with all kinds of different topics. They are safe for work, although I think they tiptoe the border a little bit and safe for work, but they're really fun. You can do this in meetings and parties. It's really fun. I've forced my Toastmasters clubs to do this plenty of times, but I've actually never really gotten to do it. I've always made other people do it. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
All right. Gabe, I can start us off, and then I'll intro it. I'll do the intro slide, and then that'll be your turn. You'll take over, and we'll just alternate each slide. Sound good?
Okay, cool. Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. Getting my timer started.
I'm worried now. You seem unreasonably excited about this. I'm excited about it, but you seem unreasonably excited. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to share my screen here.
Aha.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to our Fostering Innovation presentation tonight. My name is Dayna Gowen, and I have my coworker, Gabe Zickerman, with me this evening. And we are a part of Raise Your Skills Company, Inc. And we are just here to really get you to raise your skills up, however that may be. And today we are going to talk about fostering innovation. That can mean a lot of different things. We will show you what that means in the next slide.
So back in the day, back in the 19th century, when people needed to get around, it's important to remember that they wore these very intense, heavy petticoats. And those petticoats, everything was made of wool. It didn't matter if it was the summer, it didn't matter if it was the winter. Everything was made of wool. And so, it was actually very hard to sort of get around. Walk 10 blocks in a woolen dress in the middle of the summer and see how much energy you have left. So it was absolutely imperative that people found ways of getting around that required less energy than just walking down the street. And so enterprising developers like here, Jebediah Atkinson, who's on the screen right there, you probably don't know him, but he's really a famous inventor, created the double cycle, which was, a tool that couples could use. It was always had to be couples. You could not have unmarried people on the same trike, and they would use this to travel around. Next slide, Dayna.
Yeah, I love Jebediah Atkinson for all his innovations that he's created in this world. And here's another one. This is a painting by Joel McInnes, and he's really known for just innovative paintings, like putting things where they don't belong, but then maybe they do belong. So I want this to be a lesson to you. Like, we look at this painting and we go, Joel McGinnis, what? Why did you put a cow next to a dolphin? But then you go, but look at that cow. It's going toe to toe. It's at the same height as the dolphin. You go, cow, you go. And I want to encourage you all to go and foster your innovation. All the ideas you have, let them ride.
One of the interesting things about cows and dolphins is that, of course, if we were going to choose an animal on Earth that actually was able to live in our humdrum working world with all the emails and the Zoom calls and everything that we have to do, we'd of course choose the dolphin, right? Because we think of them as an incredibly intelligent animal. But actually, research at the University of Kansas has shown that cows are significantly better at answering emails than dolphins. And this is why it's very important for you, when you think about how you're going to create innovation from the inputs that are coming to you from email, you've got to really approach that in a cow-like way, okay? So what are cows? They're ruminants. They take in the food, they chew it up, they spit it back out again, then they swallow it again, and they do that several times in order to get the food to something that actually can be digested and creates energy. So the first 95% of all the emails that you receive, you need to treat them like a cow treats grass. Chew them up, digest them, regurgitate the ones that are actually interesting and important. And over time, you'll see that you'll come to a increasingly innovative and interesting outcome. Next slide.
Yeah. Like, as Gabe was saying, be a cow when you see an email come in. Don't be like this guy, go just taking it in too much, because then it's all messy, right? You want to be a cow, you want to take it in, slowly digest it, slowly regurgitate it, and then give your answer. Okay. A lot of emails we treat like this, right? We say, "Oh my God, I can't answer this now," and then we make it worse. We make it worse. But what if we were just more cow-like and actually took it in? Things would be a lot better, and we could then foster more innovation instead of answering so many emails.
All of us have been in a situation, I think, where, we've been lectured by a relatively unattractive woman who makes you feel a little bit like little bit like a school marm. And, one of the reasons why we are lectured often is, the adults in our lives want us to be better. They really want to make us better people. They're well-meaning, even if that, criticism ultimately ends up being less useful. And this is termed the inner critic. It's that voice that, pops up whenever you're thinking about something or trying to do something. It's that voice that says, you're not good enough, you can't do this, this is above your station. And that voice really comes from, I believe, an adult from your childhood who was basically trying to get you to be better by lecturing you and pointing their finger and telling you what to do. That inner critic is also going to be a huge impediment to your ability to innovate, because what it does when a new idea comes your way, when you're in the throes of really enjoying the brilliance of this sugar-coated, jelly-filled idea of genius, is that the inner critic comes along and says, no, you can't do that. You are not qualified to do that. You need to stop doing that. And so learning to silence that inner critic begins by identifying and understanding who the person is whose voice you're representing. Next slide.
Excellent, Gabe. And with that, I want to be mindful of our time. So this will be our last slide that I'll leave you with today. And really, the slide speaks for itself here. I mean, we were so much happier before Facebook came along, right? And it's not Facebook's fault that we just spend a lot of time on it, but our time spent on Facebook is directly correlated with our happiness level. The more time we spend on Facebook, the less happier we are. And I want that to resonate with you as I leave you with this. We're spending so much time on Facebook, which was a great innovation, but we need more innovations. All right. Facebook is out there already. It's already been created. We need you to go and create other things now. So get off of Facebook and get creating. We can't wait to see your innovations. We have been Raising Your Skills Company, Inc., and we are here to help you with all your innovation needs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, round of applause for us, Dayna.
So that was 7:30, and we still had 3 slides left to go. I want to see what the other slides are real quick. Oh. Oh. What could have been?
These are funny.
What could have been? How we could have ended. But I think the Facebook was a good closing. So
yeah, I think that was pretty good. I'm very pleased with ourselves.
That was our first go at it. I think we should definitely do it again another time. I'm not gonna lie, that was hard. That's hard. It's harder than I thought it was.
Yeah. It didn't necessarily feel hard as much to me as it was sort of like, I don't know, I was concerned at one point that we weren't going to like deliver enough value.
Right.
Like, so it's sort of humorous, right? You and I are approaching this with the humorous bent. Like, this is going to be funny. This is a funny idea. We're doing something funny.
Right.
But there's also like a moment of actually trying to deliver some value, which is why I did that Inner Critic slide.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Because I think a lot about that as an impediment, an actual impediment to innovation. So hopefully for those of you watching, you actually did learn something and you'll take something away for your innovation culture at work.
Yes, because we have talked about your audience's time is very valuable. So we hope we did give you some value amongst some laughs too. But yeah, I mean, that's a great point because obviously we're in a real presentation. We take it seriously and maybe our humor is purposeful, but here my goal, so your goal was to just add value and really give it some oomph. Mine was just to get through it. Like, I just want to say something per slide, which I kind of piggybacked off of one with the jelly donut. I didn't really know what to say. So I just leaned on you and what you had said beforehand. But I actually liked how you tied it in later with the jelly donut idea and just like eat it all up, which is fine. It's great. And I'm like, oh, I should have thought of that. That's a good move. But it's how I reacted. It's how I played it. So.
I have to say, it's not at all the same thing. This is going to be a little, just a tiny little bit crass. But many, many years ago, I was giving a presentation. No, I was being interviewed on television. And there were several of us there, people that I knew, while we were, we were up on stage at a conference. We're being interviewed up on stage in a conference. And there were several of us and we all knew each other. And in the chatter before the presentation began, one of my friends leaned over to me. She was also on the panel. And she's like, bonus points if you can work anal bleaching into this conversation. Now, the conversation was not in any way about any sort of cosmetic procedure. It was really like a professional event about games and technology and all this kind of stuff, And so I was like, okay, challenge accepted. And, it was extemporaneous. I didn't know the question. So I was just like kind of answering and responding to what was going on. And then I saw this moment where I could just like work that right angle back into the thing. And I did, and I delivered it. And of course she fell out laughing. Nobody understood why I was bringing that up, because it didn't make sense to anybody, but it kind of flowed in the conversation. So it seemed normal. But she sort of fell out. And I think if you take some of those ideas as a suggestion, like I was really struck by the aesthetic of the donut in the guy's hand. So that kind of was rattling around in my head. And then there was a moment where I was like, oh, I need something to say here. Oh, the jelly donut. Right. And I worked it back into the talk.
So that was a good gift. One that your friend
Yeah.
gave you, the
Yes.
challenge to work that in.
Yes.
And then also the gift of, oh, there's a jelly donut, which Dayna didn't really utilize very much, but I can utilize it later. Maybe it's in the back of my head. Yeah, that's great.
And she later told me that that actually was something that she grew up with 3 brothers. So she was the youngest child of 4. And they used to do that whenever they would get together for family holidays. There would be a challenge to work certain awkward phrases into conversation, and they were keeping score, and the parents didn't know about it. So I think, just bringing it full circle for us, practicing the skill of improvisational speaking, practicing the skill of improv trains the muscle for how to do that going forward. That is part of how you get good at doing this sort of thing.
Yeah. And it's not to say you'll ever be up there where you don't know your slides and what's going to come next, but you never know. You're always throwing a curveball in your speeches and your presentations. Gabe, you had a mariachi band perform, and it's how you react to those things. And this can help you just train your mind to be calm and just go with whatever you're given. Be present, trust your skills. You got this.
Love this. We need to do more of these, Dayna.
We will.
Let's do more.
I had so much fun, and I want to do better next time. I feel it is what it is. Throw it away after this, but I really want to do another one soon. So
let's do it
and challenge us.
Let's do it. And if you're just discovering us, we are the Speakers Alliance. You can find out more about us at speakersalliance.org. We've got a course, a weekly or bi-weekly live pitch session where you can come and give a talk. We've got several different ways that you can improve your public speaking skills. And we have a podcast. This is an addendum to that podcast called the AHA Method. And, we check it out, add it to your Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you get your fine podcasts. But come check us out if you're interested in improving your public speaking skills. I've been Gabe Zickerman.
I'm Dayna Gowan.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.